You're now listening to Sound Talent Media. Check out more shows at soundtalentmedia.com.
Expedia and Visit Scotland invite you to come experience the beauty that awaits in Scotland. The sweep of wild coastlines, quiet lochs, and untamed landscapes. Fresh cuisine that feels rooted in the land. Come experience the kind of stillness that stays with you long after you leave. Plan your Scottish escape today at expedia.com/Visit Scotland.
Study and play come together on a Windows 11 PC. And for a limited time, college students get the best of both worlds. Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
Hello, good people, and welcome back to another episode of the Tone Mob Podcast. Thank you so much for being here with me after all this time. It is crazy to me that I get to do this for my job. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. And you know who else I appreciate? That would be my guest this week. This week, I am talking to Will York. Will York is a dude who I really admire. He has had sort of a parallel career path with yours truly as far as the gear world is concerned, and he has created, well, perhaps more accurately, he and the Thunder Road team has created one of the go-to stores in the Pacific Northwest. Actually, one of the go-to stores in the world. Thunder Road Guitars is a Pacific Northwest institution. It started with Frank Gross up in Seattle, which, as a sidebar, is somebody else I'd like to speak with on this podcast. But Will is the guy who brought it to my neck of the woods here in Portland, Oregon. And let me tell you, this is truly one of the best stores you could possibly hope to find yourself in as a gear nerd. This is a store for guitar lovers, by guitar lovers, and it clearly shows as soon as you step foot through the doors. Really an awesome place. Will is way overdue for a guest spot on this podcast, and let's get into it. Let's stop my blabbering. Let's get into more blabbering with Will York from Thunder Road Guitars. Here we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Tone Mob Podcast, a show about guitar stuff, occasionally, sometimes. I'm your host, Blake Weiland, and with me today, I have my buddy, Will York, from Thunder Road Guitars, Portland, because there's multiple. Will, I've been buying stuff from Will for, maybe since the store opened, or real close to it. And
about 9 years, yeah.
Yeah. And it's been a real treat to watch it grow into what it is now. And as much as we've talked and hung out and nerded out about stuff, I realized last time we were hanging out, I actually don't really know Will's story pre-opening the store. I don't know anything about, how all this happened. I just know, did you hear that Will opened a cool store? I'm like, who's Will? What's the cool store? Wow, it's a cool store. Will's a cool guy. I don't know your story at all. And I thought, what better place than the podcast to find out what happened? How did this all occur? Because Thunder Road has transformed into one of the spots in Portland. It's a destination. People come through town and they're like, I know I got to hit Thunder Road. I'm like, yes, you do. So how did all this happen? When did you start playing? What caused this obsession?
All right. Well, my story's a well-guarded secret. No, it's not. Let's see. I grew up in Gainesville, Florida, Tom Petty land. Music was a big thing in that city at the time. I think it still is. I haven't been back in a while. But so let me rewind. So Gainesville, Florida, went to a school, and the only thing I cared about was music. My parents forced me into piano lessons. I'm really glad that they did. And then drums were actually my first real instrument that I felt like I had any proficiency at. Mm-hmm. And so all through high school and then the little bit of college that I did attend, any band that I was in, I was playing drums. And that was kind of like my go-to. But when I moved out of my folks' house, you can't really play drums in an apartment that well, and the guitar became the main thing.
Especially not back then. These days you got electric kits and stuff that help, but not back then.
Is a full-blown DW rock kit. I mean, I still have it. I've had it since I was 16. So drums to guitar, and then I guess I was almost 25. I was about to turn 25, and I got an opportunity to move out to the Northwest. And against everybody in my life's suggestions or pleading to not do that and, take a big risk, I was like, if I don't leave Gainesville now, I will never leave ever.
Mm-hmm.
And also, all of my friend group had moved out west anyway. So I went out for Christmas one year and stayed at Vashon Island. The girl I was with at the time, her folks lived there. And I just fell in love with the place and saw that Lollar Pickups was hiring. And I was like, oh my God.
They're on the island, right?
Yeah. Not anymore, but they were
for
the first, for most of the time they've existed. But I think it was 2014 or 15 that they moved to Tacoma.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. I knew that. That's right.
So I always wanted to do something in music. And I never really put myself out there. I was never really in a band that was like, we're going to try to go make it. It was just for fun for me. But I always wanted to do something in music. And this is the chance that I was like, I can get in. I can do this. So I basically just bothered them until they gave me an interview. It was like right around Christmas and New Year's. And, they're like, well, we can't hire you because you don't live out here. How long would it take you? And I was like, give me a month. Went back, had a garage sale, loaded up my Nissan Pathfinder with tiny U-Haul thing, dog, cat in tow, and what was left of my personal belongings, and made it out.
Wow.
And that was the beginning of 2012. And so I still, I lied to my family. I was like, yeah, I have this job out there. It's going to be great. I'm going to land on my feet. It's going to be fine. No, that was not true. So I get out there. We put all our money into this place, deposit and everything to rent on Vashon. But it was just a big adventure for me. So I was like, this is great. And went in for another interview and was just like, man, I really hope they hire me. But in the meantime, I was like, I need money. And my neighbor had a nursery. So I do construction, when I say construction, greenhouse deconstruction and then helping them rebuild a greenhouse. Okay. I had no idea what I was doing. Mm-hmm. Zero. So that's what I did for cash until Lollar was like, okay, we'll hire you. I hope it wasn't out of pity.
Hey, but you take what you can get in that sort of scenario. Yeah.
That's it. So I did that for 4 years, and then
were you winding awesome pickups time. There? What were you doing?
I was winding pickups, yeah. Mm-hmm. They start everybody out. It's a production thing, right? And I was always well suited to a sales floor. That's all the jobs that I had prior to was doing sales, but I was determined to learn this, right? And so my first couple months, I was literally putting rivets into flat work to make pickup bobbins. And then they trust you to make bobbins. And you're just sitting there with a little Teflon tipped hammer, hammering magnets into laser cut flat work to make Strat pickups, to make Tele pickups, etc. And my first real, maybe it was not quite a year in, but my first real okay, we're giving you a product. It was P90s. P90s were my baby. And there's a lot that goes into it. And I mean, we're 10 years, 11 years away from when I left. So I haven't done any pickup winding since. So trying to remember all of it, but just learning how to solder properly, learning the wire gauges, the turns, babysitting this machine all day while you're, doing other things and trying to multitask, which multitasking is never something that I would say I'm great at.
Same.
Anyway, I did that for 4 years and I loved every minute. I made some lifelong friends. And one of those lifelong friends, when I had mentioned that I was thinking about maybe doing something else, his name's Jordan Fuller. He was in a band with Frank Gross, who's the founder of Thunder Road, and Trevor Boone of Emerald City Guitars. And I actually bothered Trevor first, and we kind of just missed signals. Like didn't get an opportunity to meet and have an actual interview. But then Frank had told our friend Jordan, like, hey, I really need a sales guy. I'm about to have a baby. I need a new sales guy. And so I just jumped. I was like, yeah, let's do this.
You're used to it, right? So
yeah. So I left the manufacturing world and went straight to the sales floor. And truthfully, my knowledge of vintage guitars was pretty slim at that point. And I learned everything that I knew there out of obsession and necessity. I had to be able to answer these questions and answer them correctly and not make anything up, right? So, yeah, that was the start of it. That was September of 2015. And in the back of my head, I've always been like, I want to do something that's mine. I want to own something. I want to, be the guy, right?
Yep.
So I think it was like maybe a month into working for Frank that I pulled him aside and was just kind of like casually, have you ever thought about expanding? What might that look like? How could I be a part of it? And I, trying to not be annoying and pestering, just kept laying it on him. Like, hey, have you thought, so, talks turned into actual meetings, turned into us figuring out a way to make it happen. And I think so I started in September of 2015, and by September of 2017, we opened the Portland store.
Okay.
And kind of the whole sales pitch I gave Frank was like, hey, you've built this incredible thing. I want to be a part of it. If I take all the risk, can I own our second location? And he was just like, yeah, like,
why not? You're taking all the risk.
Yeah. Well, and it wasn't just that, but I feel like, you'll have to ask him. But I felt like he believed in me. Like I had the vision. I saw what he wanted to do and where it was going. And I recognized that this was just a really cool brand. And, most of the people in our industry, none of us really wanted a real job. And so this was kind of it, right? Like I get to hang out with guitars all day and buy and sell guitar. Like, it's incredible. Yeah.
So 17, that would have been, that timeline fits in my brain because I was working up in Northwest, up like towards the St. John's Bridge at the fuel terminals up there.
That's right.
And so I had just started in 16, I'm like, maybe I can do guitar things on the internet. Like, what? That would be cool if I could do guitar things on the internet and, not have a real job. Little did I know that would be substantially more hours put into that than than a real job, quote unquote. But I was still trying to find my feet, and it was about, I'd started the podcast somewhat recently. I don't know how many episodes would have been out by that point, but it would gotten an odd amount of traction. Maybe just because of the timing, I'm not really sure, for the short time that it had been around. And I remember being, when the store opened and being like, oh, this is an interesting thing that popped up right near where I am. I'm going to go check it out. And then you posted that beta lead that I still have, and it was like, that was all over. Then that was the start of it.
I remember.
I think you were sleeping there at that point.
Yeah. So, this part isn't widely known, but when we got the space, again, I was taking all the risk. I think there was an idea that it was like, oh, this big company's moving into Portland from Seattle. And there was a little bit of a few people weren't stoked. And I had to be like, no, guys, it's me and my dog. And I'm not getting an apartment because I can't afford an apartment. I'm living in the basement of the store. And it was awesome, honestly. Tiny, you remember this first storefront, shoebox. It was super small.
Mm-hmm.
I think that maybe I had 40 instruments tops.
But it was well done. It looked cool.
Thank you. Laid out store, like well clean. Just we wanted to. The cool thing about that space in particular is you felt like you were just walking into my living room, which you were, whether you knew it or not. That was just the vibe. Like it was all just like comfortable. We're here to have a good time, and something that we've always tried to work on in that mindset is just like, yes, we carry high-end stuff. We want the craziest, rarest vintage stuff, but it all needs to be approachable. It doesn't need to be stuffy. Like, we're just guys that love guitars, come in, talk to us, and just, because it can be intimidating, going in and in any setting like that. But, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was...
Even then, not your store in particular, but, like, even then I was, like, brand new to the quote-unquote industry. Yeah. And so I would get to go and check out stuff at different stores and with different companies, and I still was like, I don't know, I feel like a fish out of water in some ways. Like, oh, I'm just a guy. And then it takes a while for you to realize, like, everyone's just a guy. That's all it is. It's just people who are obsessed with this thing, and like that does go away, but I know what you mean about it being intimidating. It feels like it shouldn't be, but it can be.
It can be. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, that was the first little storefront, 2017. You bought that Sun beta lead.
It's right
now
over here.
you
right over here.
Now and then I think the only connection that we had prior to was I had become friends with Chris Benson because I saw his stuff pop up, and I drove down to Portland. I was dating a girl down here at the time, and would zip down every weekend. And I was like, I got to get one of his amps. And when he was still working in the back of Old Town, put a deposit down for a Monarch. I still have it. It's still my favorite amp. And he was one of the people that kind of encouraged me and kind of helped me land on my feet down here, just having a friend, Mm-hmm. Now, you and him go back further than that, right?
Not much further, honestly. Yeah. I met him maybe a year prior to that.
Right on.
In the similar circumstance, I had an amp that I wanted to get some work done on, and I took it in there, and he was tweaking on it, and there was a Monarch sitting on the shelf, and I was like, what's that? And I was just in there with him because we were tuning this Fender 75. I was like, it sounds great clean and it sounds great dirty, but never you can never switch between those two because the EQ's shared and it's all weird. So he made that better. But he was tweaking things and okay, try this, and it was a really fun experience. But I looked up on the shelf and there was this Monarch sitting there, and I was like, hey, what's that? He's like, oh, that's my amp. I'm like, what do you mean your amp? I was like, in my brain, I'm still so new to this tone chasing journey. I'm like, oh, people just make amps. That's a thing. They're not, it's not just Fender and Orange and Marshall and, Mesa Boogie. There's real people that make these things. And he let me play it, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to need one of those. And that's literally where we started. It was one of his, I think I got maybe Monarch number 50 or something like that.
Yeah, you beat me to it. I got number 80.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, it's around that same. You and I got to know him around the same time. I just lived here, so I saw him more often, maybe.
Totally.
Yeah.
But there's another story. I remember going to visit him at his house where he had the workshop in the back.
Oh, dude.
And it was so cool to watch that and feel like I'm growing alongside my friends that are doing something similar in the same industry.
100%.
It's been real fun. So yeah, Chris was one of the first good friends that I had down here and kind of helped me,
Yeah. Oh, I guess it's more similar than I realized. Episode 2 was Chris Benson. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So this is all converging here.
Yeah. And then, of course, so moved into town, and I was like, I've got to carry your amps, please, Mm-hmm. And, then a couple years in, everything just blew up for him, too. And so getting back to the tiny storefront, we were there for about 4 years, and COVID, like a lot of other people in our world, like COVID happened and it was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to close my business for the first like couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then people are buying stuff and we're like, oh my God, where can I get more?
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to run out of stuff. And so it just became like, you had to be on your feet, right? Like we did well and a lot of other people did well, but it was because we were just like, okay, we got to run with whatever comes, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got to do it. And we started as a strictly vintage and used guitar and amp store. We had a couple things. I think when Frank first opened up, it was like mostly just pedals, but all the guitars and amps were vintage and used. And I feel like that's still where our passion and kind of our heart in the base of our company is that we love vintage guitars. So COVID happened and we couldn't buy as many vintage guitars. You know, we go to all the major guitar shows across the country. We fly in, we buy as much as we can to bring back to the Northwest to have cool stuff in our stores. And we also get calls about going to buy collections, and that just kind of disappeared overnight.
Right.
All the shows were canceled. So just prior to, I had become a Collings dealer and we got signed on with Fender. And early on, so we were not, I mean, we were low on the totem pole in the Fender world and just fresh dealers. And we kind of saw the writing on the wall, like we should really dig into this. So we called up our rep and we're just like, hey, how many canceled orders do you have? How many can we buy? And like, just went ham. Like I don't have the money to pay for this right now, but I'll figure it out, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's just turned in that particular moment. And then all the other companies we picked up afterwards is really where I saw the growth of our business, is doing all of it. You have so many cool stores in this country. Now, most of them fall into two categories. Most of them are all vintage and they do it well and it's amazing. And then some of them are all new.
Mm-hmm.
We want to do both, you know, and why can't we? Why shouldn't we? Right?
Yeah.
And that is because it's hard to do both. But
it's correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like it's obviously it's buying and selling guitars, so it's only so different. But it does feel like a very different set of things that you're gonna do, like versus like, okay, here's the new Fender stuff that's coming out. It's gonna get delivered, and versus like, oh, we're hunting for gems to bring back here that we know will do well in this place. You know, it's a very different acquisition strategy. I guess the selling's kind of the same, but getting the product is
kind
different.
of.
Yeah,
honestly, because you get a vintage guitar or just a cool used guitar that's priced well, and you can't really compare it. There's no price matching or shopping to do around. It's just like, this is the one, you know?
Right.
No, you know, that's not true across the board, but like, you know, I can't go call Fender and order a 1964 Strat, you know?
Right.
So one of those comes in, it's just kind of the market's the market. And that's the big difference. And then learning, we've always just kind of flown by the seat of our pants. And it was just like, okay, when buying opportunities come, we go get as much of the cool stuff that we can. But trying to plan out, like all the other regular businesses in this world, like, okay, we got to plan out our orders and we have to order things so far in advance that part has been a big learning curve for us, but we're getting it figured out. And back to the selling of vintage stuff for the new stuff, it's like you do have a lot of competition and you're all trying to sell the same thing. So our take is just, how can we make our stuff a little bit different? How can we get something, even if we can't get an exclusive run with somebody, how can we tweak something just slightly different that people haven't done? I wouldn't say people haven't done before. I mean, we're all just copying each other, right?
Sure.
But we think we have some pretty fun ideas. And so that's been our strategy with the new stuff, is let's get stuff that is unique to us, or at least still speaks to who we are, which is vintage guitar nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Rocky.
What's up, Vincent?
Did you hear about the latest?
Latest what?
The latest drop from Maris. It's totally insane.
No, tell me more.
Maris just released Enzo X.
What's that?
Enzo X is a supernova expansion from the original Enzo into the highest quality and most flexible studio synthesizer ever created in a pedal format.
Whoa!
Enzo X combines 5 synth types, 5 drives, 3 reverbs, and 5 modulations. It also includes a full 2.5 second stereo delay, all in one pedal.
That sounds hard to use.
It's not. The UI is from the same family as the Mercury X and the LVX. It's super easy to dive in and see exactly what you are tweaking in real time.
Oh, I see. It's right there on the screen.
Yep.
Is it just for guitars, though?
Nope. You can plug almost anything into the Enzo X, including your MIDI controller.
That sounds incredible. Where do I get it?
You can pick up Enzo X online at maris.us or at any of their fine retailers across the globe.
Did you just say across the globe?
They know what I meant.
Wait, are we getting paid for this?
I'm still waiting on that cash money from last time.
He better at least give us pizza for dinner.
I'm not giving him his Enzo X back until he does.
For more information, make sure you check out maris.us, and apparently I have to go order a pizza. How exactly do artists get their music on Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, Tidal, all these services? How in the world do you get your music there? Well, in the past, you had to use something called a record label. But these days, you can use DistroKid. DistroKid is the absolute easiest way to get your music up on streaming services, and it's the most affordable way to do so. Not only do plans start at $22.99 for the entire year, that's less than $2 a month, DistroKid also does not take a cut of your streaming revenue, unlike some other services out there. Even better if you sign up by going to tonemob.com/distrokid. That's tonemob.com/distrokid. One more time, that's tonemob.com/distrokid. You'll get 30% off. That's right, 30% off their already extremely reasonable prices. So go to tonemob.com/distrokid and get your music out there. We are brought to you today by Sweetwater, specifically the Gear Exchange. You may have heard about this. This is a place where you can go to buy and sell your used gear. Maybe you got a pedal over there that's just kind of collecting dust. Maybe there's something you've been eyeing from the Sweetwater catalog. Well, right now is a great time to turn that unused gear into something you're actually going to use. Even better, if you sell on the Gear Exchange, you can keep 100% of the sale as long as you choose a Sweetwater gift card as your payout method. That is not too shabby because, let's be honest, most of this buying and selling we do is just to fund new gear purchases, and that is a great way to reach a wide variety of customers and keep 100% in your pocket, or rather on your pedal board. So go check out the Sweetwater Gear Exchange and turn that unused gear into something that's actually going to help you write that next huge riff. So how did you make the leap, going backwards a little bit here? You made a pretty big leap, seemingly, from the old spot to the current spot. Was there an in-between that I'm not aware of, or did it go from directly
No,
from there?
it was just, what do they say about 5 pounds in a 10 pounds in a 5-pound bag? That's basically what the store had turned into. It was just like, we had hundreds of guitars, and I could display maybe 60 at a time tops.
Right.
So thank God for the internet, because people shop and see that it's online, then come into the store and ask for it, we can grab it. But I had it set in my mind that the next place that I got, I wanted to own the building if I could. Mm-hmm. And so that took longer to find the spot, to get financing, because again, every penny that I have or had or borrowed was all into this store. So trying to figure out how to buy a commercial building took a while, and finally it did happen. And that was the big jump. Was I made it happen. And
that's a daunting process for people who don't know. It's not the same. as intense as buying a house is, buying commercial is not the same thing. There's a lot that goes into it. It seems more straightforward than it and it should probably be more straightforward than it is.
I wish.
But it's quite a process. Well, we had a mild technical difficulty there, folks, but we're back. So, speaking of the commercial stuff, this is like business owner nerdy type of things. Like, what was that process like for you? Like, I like talking about this stuff because peeling back the curtain of the guitar business, I think, is interesting to a lot of people. It may not seem like it on the surface if it's like, we're going to talk about the process of commercial real estate, but like literally talking about like, dude was living in the shop. Like, put everything he had into it, and that's what it takes to make it work sometimes. And it's not every time for every situation, but for a lot more people than you'd expect, you do have to put everything into it. So once you decided to make that leap, what did you have to do?
Yeah, you have to have kind of a strong stomach because it feels like everything's gonna, like the rug keeps getting pulled out from under you. Like, oh, yeah, we're good to go. We're moving forward. No, the underwriting team doesn't like this thing. And, back to the whole idea of owning a commercial space, it wasn't because I want to be the monopoly guy or anything. It's just like, I want a place to where I know my rent's not going to go up. I'm not paying somebody else's property taxes, because that's the whole thing. It's like the Wild West. Like, you rent a space, you have your lease, and you're paying the rent. You're paying the building owner's property taxes and additional fees to cover all of their expense.
Not to mention that commercial is substantially different than, renting an apartment or a house where the landlord's basically on the hook for all the maintenance and repairs. Oftentimes in commercial space, that isn't it. Nope. None.
Need a new roof? Cool. Have fun,
Yeah. Ask me how I know this.
Thankfully, I never had to run into a situation like that, but I'd heard enough stories, and I just knew that I was...
Our AC got stolen at the last shop. They came in the night and stole the outdoor unit from the AC system. I was like,
come on, man.
Like, really, guys? Come on. There's people trying to work in here, and you stole their air conditioning. This is not cool. Anyway, just one of the things. Sorry, I just remembered that.
I know. No, it's all good. So, yeah, like, figuring out, like, okay, how can I do this? This is more money than I've ever spent on anything or even attempted to. And, you get to talk to you get a good real estate guy that's going to jump on it. You get a good banking team that's going to jump on it. I feel like a lot of times you meet up with professionals in some of those realms, and it's like you got to call the person. It's like, hey, have you checked on this? Can you do this? But having those people are the only reason that it could work. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm still trying to run the store day to day. Now, I've also got one of the best teams on the planet, and they've always gone above and beyond to make sure everything happens smoothly at the store when I'm not there because I'm trying to do something else. So that's also a big element of it. So without those two things, like I would not have been able to stomach all of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you get financing lined up, and then they have environmental testing where they have to drill into the slab of the basement and do some soil. I don't know. It all just felt like it was just like, yeah, you have to do this. Here's a bill. Oh, yep. Okay. We didn't like that result. We have to do it again. Here's another bill. And I was just like, man, like, it's very evident why more people just rent because it is way more convenient. But I was determined. So I think after the ups and downs and like, what's the other thing? They wanted me to get a life insurance policy on the building, or on myself for the building, so that if I died, the building would get paid off.
Oh, weird. And, I didn't realize that. That's a new one to me.
Yeah, and I got denied because I had a heart issue that wasn't really going, and we can get into that another time.
That's a whole different struggle you've had to deal with.
Yeah, but man, it's all so good. Like, sure, yeah, there's hard times and all that, but it's like looking at the big picture, it's like, man, I'm so lucky. And back to what you were saying about business owners having to put all of their eggs into this basket and just putting every penny and every amount of energy they have, is I have a lot of friends that did the same thing, that I would tell you 100% are smarter than I am, work just as hard, and anybody with any amount of success in business and the music industry, if you don't credit luck, you're lying. Like,
Oh yeah.
I got lucky. I worked hard and I showed up and I got lucky. I'm not a genius. I'm not like,
I think for me, a lot of it was simply timing. Like,
yeah,
I think if I was trying to do the same exact thing right now, could I do it? Yeah, I think I could. But I think it would I would have to work even harder. And I don't know if I have the capacity to work harder than I did. Somebody else probably would. But like, I've said this before, but I was like essentially working, and I know you can relate to this, basically 3 full-time jobs at the same time, trying to get it to where I could just do like 2 full-time jobs. And that's not a complaint. That's just like the reality of what it was. It was like around the clock, around like nonstop, just go for several years. And like Scott was doing the same thing in a different way, on the other side of the country, and we were working together as best we could. And so he said in interviews before, it's, like they're like, well, how did you do this? Like, this looks like it's going so well. And it's like, yes, it is. And it's awesome. And we're so grateful for that. But there's not like a sexy story though. It's like, how'd you do it? He's like, I lived in a house with 4 other dudes, bartended full time, and had massive amounts of credit card debt. Like, it's not necessarily something you can even recommend.
Yeah.
As a good
Welcome
idea.
to the party, pal.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, what am I going to tell my kids that that's the way to go? It worked out for me, but it doesn't work out for a lot of people. And that's not to say that it can't work out for you and that with enough tenacity that you can't make it work, because you absolutely can. But it's not a surefire path to success, for sure.
Agreed. And so, yeah, just all of the things, showing up, doing it, and having some luck.
Mm-hmm. Luck is a big part, for sure.
So anyway, had a few other hurdles, and they're not real, I can't even remember what they were exactly, but they're just like, okay, well, this might not happen now because of this and that. And finally, we signed the papers and closed on the building. That was October of 21.
Okay, yeah.
And I was like, all right, now what do I do, right? Like, I got to get people in here to help me do the build out on this place. It was a restaurant. Like, how's this going to happen? Mm-hmm. And it was 2021, so I couldn't get a contractor to call me to do anything.
Of course.
So I was just like, called some good customers, some friends. It was like, hey dude, like, I can give you a lot of store credit if you can come spend a couple weekends with me, just helping me. Cause like, we had to remove a sink or something like that. And, the community really came together to help me out there. I think
give me a call, dude. I can remove a sink.
Next time I will. I think I gave him a really nice 335. Yeah, he got a really nice AS 335 as part of doing all of it.
I'll do some ridiculous things for a real nice 335. You would be surprised.
Hey, I'll make sure. I'll make sure I call you. So, yeah, not really, knowing exactly what I was doing with the build out, but knowing how I wanted it to look, right? Mm-hmm. And got in there, hung the slot wall, got some security gates, and opened in January of 2022 at this current location.
Yeah. It's a great spot too. It really turned out really nice.
Thank you so much, man. It's such a nice, like, so much light comes in, all the windows up front. It's just like a really inviting space.
It feels good to go in there, for sure.
Thanks, man. And that, again, goes back to the crew. Like, we're all just there to have a good time. Like, I'm sure you've walked into a guitar store and there's a grumpy guy behind the counter and it's just like, well, what do you want? And it's like, no. Like,
no. What's the why? I've never understood that. I don't think it's as common as it used to be.
It's not. It's not. People have gotten way better.
I think it's like a new crop of ownership has, taken over is a lot of it. And that, this stuff kind of is in some ways top down. If the person at the top is crotchety, it makes everybody else crotchety too.
Absolutely.
And it's weird though. Like, it's so weird that was a trope. And there was a store in Portland that everybody remembers that fit this mold exactly. They're no longer here, but everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about if you've been in the area for any amount of time. And in retrospect, I'm like, what is your deal? Like, you're working around vintage guitars. Why are you so mad?
Right.
Like, what is the problem? Why? I know every business has its challenges. There's always difficulties in some ways. We've just outlined some of them. But at the end of the day, you're not roofing a house. That's a lot harder. I've done it. It's a lot harder to do.
If I wasn't doing this, I keep saying, anytime I start to complain about anything, I'm just like, I'd be digging ditches, which nothing wrong with that. But I mean, my back hurts as it is. I don't think my body could handle that kind of work anymore. So yeah, it's been really quite the experience.
I like hearing you say that because I have to catch myself with that sometimes too. I'll find myself grumbling about doing some sort of paperwork or something, and because that's the part I don't like. That's the part nobody likes, and you're never gonna get away from it, no matter what you do. Just everyone, just so you know. And then not
to interrupt real quick, but I have 2 vendor applications still pending because I hate paperwork.
Understand?
Right there with you.
Yes. So when that stuff crops up, or there's some issue or some personnel thing or whatever, I do have to be like, stop it. 10 years ago, you would slap yourself in the face and be like, stop complaining. This is a great problem to have. Like, what are you whining about? You want to go back to doing what you were doing before? No? Okay, then shut up and deal with this minor inconvenience that you have.
I think it's really important to talk about that stuff and, like, talk about mental health in our world and industry. And it's gotten more and more open, and everybody's been really, really cool about that. But yeah, as cheesy as it sounds, and I think I tried really hard to be a cynic for a really long time about all this stuff, but just like staying positive and just trusting that it's all going to work out, even when it feels like it's not, because by and large, it all has, right? So I still worry. I still have anxiety. I'm still up late at night wondering when it's all going to fall out. But it's like just keeping that in the back of the mind and understanding every morning that I wake up, I don't have to go do this. I get to go do this, right? And I just, my gratitude, right? That's the answer is, oh, you're not feeling good about what you're doing? Like, how's your family? Oh yeah, I've got a great family. Everybody's really healthy. You got a place to sleep tonight? Yeah, I've got a fun house. I love where I live. It's like, oh yeah, like,
okay, you're doing all right. Yeah,
you're doing great.
Yeah,
you're doing great.
Yeah, you can walk around. All right, sweet. And it sounds silly, and it sounds like we're like old men talking to the younger generation in some ways, but it's true because like back in the day, I would get crotchety and mad about stupid things like that, and not really. I think it's maybe when you have a couple things happen to you that you realize it can be taken away, through no fault of your own. Yeah. And the fact that we do get to walk around and talk and have these kind of conversations is like truly a blessing in a lot of ways. It's just like, it's ridiculous how many problems can creep up. I mean, I guess that's probably a good segue. The listeners have heard my stupid eye injury story a million times. So they don't need to hear that one again. But you had a pretty serious health scare in the middle of all this.
Oh yeah. I knew that I had a faulty valve, right? They found a murmur when I was younger, and they're like, yeah, get it checked up every 5 years. It's fine. I waited 15, right? And usually you go get a test done, and you'll get results in a few days or a week, right? And I went in to get an ultrasound on the heart just to check up because the murmur was really loud. And the doctor called me on my drive from the hospital into work. And this was January in 23. And
Hello there. I'd like to introduce you to your new best friend, the Chase Bliss Audio Lossy. Lossy is a collaboration between Chase Bliss and Good Hertz. And it's meant to give you some control over those weird digital artifacts that come with very compressed audio. You're hearing it right now. All the changes that are taking place are strictly coming from my playing dynamics. I'm just interacting with the pedal and letting it do its thing. In some true stereo goodness. If you'd like some more details about Lossy, I'd invite you to head over to chaseblissaudio.com. I think you're going to like what you find.
The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't clone you, but it can streamline your hiring workflow. From posting jobs to shortlisting candidates to interviewing, LinkedIn Hiring Pro is the hiring partner you need, so you can focus on connecting with the right talent. In fact, small businesses report saving over 6 hours per week. So hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
We gather here tonight to bring women back to their rightful place.
The Testaments, a new Hulu original series from the executive producers of The Handmaid's Tale.
It's easier to accept a story than believe that the people around you are monsters.
The battle isn't over.
There comes a time when you have to take action, when you have to choose your own destiny.
Never quite as it seems. Watch the new Hulu original series, The Testaments, streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply.
I had like this, it was the beginning of the year. I had this big plan. It's like, I'm going to get into the shop every morning at 8 o'clock and do this. And then like, I got that news and it was very blunt. It was just like, so I see your results here. You need open heart surgery. And I was like,
what?
Oh, I'm 36. Like,
right.
I'm not, I eat pretty good. I don't smoke. I don't drink. Like what's going on? And, he's just like, yeah. And I was like, there's no other way. He's like, no, this is the only way. And so like I hung up and like I got to the shop and just like, whoa, this is happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that was the first, back to business stuff. Like I've had a hard time letting go of control of a lot of tasks just because I was so used to doing everything. Mm-hmm. And, not being able to delegate stuff to the people that you hired and trust to do this, right? And it was the first moment of me owning a business where it was just like, yeah, well, that's what I have to do. Like, I'm going to be gone for at least a month, and you guys have to do it. And I could have prepared them way better, but I think my mental state was just like unwell about all of it, right?
Did you walk in and be like, guess what, guys? The shop's going to be yours for a while.
Dude, I think I was just like, guys, I'm very open with him about everything. But I think at the moment I was just like, I have to go home right now.
Mm-hmm.
And my now wife, girlfriend at the time, was at home, and I called her, and it was just like, again, it's just, you don't expect to hear that in your 30s, right?
No.
So go in, meet with a surgeon. And this dude was awesome, actually. He was like a really good salesman. And I assume he was a really good surgeon because I'm still here. But he's
it seems like he did a good job.
He came in and in a situation like that where there's like a little bit of empathy, he was just like, dude, I'm sorry that you're this age and you're sitting across the desk from me right now. Asked about what I did. I was like, I love guitars. I'm in the guitar world. I was like, cool. So, a lot of people have hobbies. A lot of people go skiing. A lot of people go play guitar. A lot of people play violin. He goes, I don't do any of that. I do heart surgery, and I'm really good at it. And I was just like, okay. Right. Like, cool. That's the type of energy I needed, right? Yeah, I feel way better.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty quick after that, we went in and did the whole thing, and it was my first real big hospital stay, which was interesting. Hopefully I don't have to do that again.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Nobody hearing this has to do that. Yes.
But it's just a weird. All of it's kind of weird, and they stop your heart to do the surgery on it. They repaired the valve instead of replacing it, and there's just some correlation between using the heart-lung machine and like having like after the surgery was done, it was just like I was so down in the dumps. Like everything was still going fine, but it was just like zero energy, and it hurt. They break your sternum, so
yeah, that feels great.
They give you this heart pillow to hug when you cough, and it's just like. But my wife, my mom flew out from Florida to help out, and she kind of came into the business and helped out with the guys upstairs. I don't know if you've seen some of the videos featuring my mother, but
yes, I love it.
She's a saint, man, and she's a good. She's not the way we depict her. She's very kind and very sweet, and obviously has a great sense of humor and is a good sport about all of it. But she came out and just helped me not worry. I always worry, but helped me to just not worry. So I made it a hard, like, I'm not allowed to take any business phone calls. And I will not for however long. So yeah, that was 23, and everything's been going great health-wise since then.
Great.
But yeah, I mean, any medical, whether it's injury or some big intervention that has to happen like that, it's like, it's a lot, right?
Yep. Yeah. For me, it was, the eye injury in 2011. And now I'm like, oh, I got to be real careful because now I'm down 50%. If something happens to the other one, I'm just blind. That's just what it is. And it's a weird realization because you're like, oh, that could just happen because it just happened to the other one,
right.
And so like I'm Captain Safety Glasses these days, not just for myself, but like much to the annoyance of employees and family. I'm like, nope, get the safety glasses on. We just had a quite a big intervention at the shop actually, like about a month ago. I'd heard some reports, and me not being there every day, it's a little different story, and I had a little bit of probably my first real like boss anger moment.
Yeah.
I was like, they're doing what?
Yeah.
Like, no. Like, we are wearing our safety glasses on the floor. That's it. Too many strings spinning around. Anything could happen. Nothing ever has, but it could,
Yeah.
So yeah, but it did give me like this sense of, oh wow, like all of this is temporary. And you got to be thankful for when things are going well, because it is it's a wild world out there. Anything could happen. Yeah.
It really can. Mm-hmm. And back to just staying positive, being grateful for everything that you have, and it honestly, like, everything starts falling into place when you go with that mentality. Like, it just, good things happen, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. So let me ask you this. I like to ask this I like to ask this question from other business owners, specifically guitar stores, because I love guitar stores. In fact, when I was starting the podcast, some of my friends said, why don't you just start a guitar store? And I was like, man, that's not as easy as you make it sound like. But say somebody does want to start a guitar store. What would your recommendation to them be? Like, they're just your average dude like you were. I think I want to start a guitar store. It looks like my area could use one. What would your recommendation be?
Everybody's going to try to talk you out of it. Everybody's going to try to talk you out of opening any business. Everybody's going to tell you how hard it is. They're right. Mm-hmm. Everybody's going to tell you how slim the chances of your success are. They're also right. But if it's something that you want to do, you need to go for it. Now, selling guitars is very expensive today. You got to have a good, you're doing it all yourself in the beginning, but like I can't set up guitars very well. So that was like one of the first hires I ever had. Our boy Knuckles upstairs. He's a champion,
Well, he's going to be getting some work for me here pretty soon.
Love it.
Yeah.
So having good people to handle the things that you're not that great at, like for me, it was definitely that. and just being ready to put in all the hours. You know, you think about, I had this whole idea, like I wanted to own something, I wanted to do it, but I was under no illusion of like, I want to be my own boss and pick my hours. It's like, cool, I hope you like 24/7 as your hours, because that's more or less what it is for a while anyway.
And even then, I hate to burst anybody's bubble or any like guy selling a course on the internet's bubble, but it is 24/7 forever in your brain.
Yeah.
It just is.
Even on days that I've got do not disturb on the phone, I'm just trying to play with my kid, and it's like there's something churning in the back of, okay, I got to make sure this person gets an email this day, or I've got to send in this paint, all the stuff.
And that's not a complaint. I'm okay with that. For me, that is less stressful than what I used to have to do, which is put my vacation in a year in advance. I hated that. That drove me crazy. I understood why it had to happen. I'm not like criticizing the fact that it had to happen. I just hated it. That was more stressful to me than thinking about whatever it is I got to do all the time. Sorry to interrupt, but
no problem. If somebody wanted to open a guitar store, I would not try to dissuade them from doing it. It's just the age-old, like any business. All the people are going to tell you the same thing, and they're right. But if you believe in what you're doing, and, you can kind of say, well, what's my gimmick or niche going to be in all of it? And sure, that could be important, but I think more importantly is just showing up. And, like, do you love it? Yeah. If it all doesn't work out, will you still be okay somehow, some way? Yeah. Then you need to go for it, And everything's scary, Starting a business is scary. Starting a new job, knowing that company that you're working for could fold up at some point without any warning. It's like there's no guarantee. So why not try to make it on your own? And at least you have this much control. There's still I don't have any control over anything. But if there's like this much where I can influence some of it, I like that a lot better.
There's something to be said for, this is going to sound a little weird, but, a little bit counter to what we were talking about, but the fact that you can, like when you were like, hey guys, I got to go home. That was not a thing. Like if I got seriously hurt or something, then yeah, of course I could go home. But if I was just like wanting a mental health day or needing one, that was not an option at any job that I had where it was like, hey, look, I'm really struggling right now and I'm just going to need to go, be with my wife or something. They'd be like, yeah, go unload that rail car. That's great, buddy. I don't care. Like, it's not that they didn't care. That's not even true. But it's like, that's, I'm sorry that you're feeling that way. This still has to get done. Otherwise, cars don't drive. So go do it, and the fact that I can do, if something were to arise, I can pretty much move whatever, with very few exceptions, to accommodate it, and no one's gonna get hurt or it's not gonna really interrupt anybody, and as long as the work gets done at the end of the week, it doesn't really matter. That feels good to me.
That's a huge amount of freedom that sometimes gets missed in my mind too, because I can just be like, I have an emergency, I have to go, and my store's still gonna run, right? Now, I like being here. I like being on the floor and talking with customers. It's part of the reason that I did it in the first place, because I felt like I was good at it and I enjoyed doing it, right?
Yeah.
But being able to just, I've got to go home, is a huge luxury.
Huge. I cannot overstate how, I know that most people listening to this don't have that ability, and I am thankful that they listen to it and give me that ability. So thank you.
And with our crew, we have a pretty small crew, but when they need a day like that, I do my best to make sure there's no, yes, go, and I'll cover. We've all got each other's backs. And so it's really important to me that my dudes are happy and having fun. And that's part of it, is not feeling like you're going to get in trouble because you took a day off, right? And with us being able to take time when we need it, there's also the other side of,
it's go
this
time.
This big shipment of guitars from the last guitar show we do. The truck driver couldn't get there till midnight, so I've got to drive down to the store and do that. It's like, there's also that. And again, not a complaint. It's just, there is a balance of it. There's times where it's like, I'm going to work for 2 weeks straight, but then, I'm going to turn my phone off for a day, and it's going to be wonderful.
Yeah. I mean, you just kind of did that, right? We were talking off the air about the Dallas Guitar Show and your whirlwind experience you just went through.
Those guitar shows are so much fun, and it's such a good group of guys that we will all work with. Like, there's people across the world that I see 5 times a year only at those shows. People from Japan, people from Germany, you name a state, they all, come to it, and it's just fun, right? And there's a core group of guys that we all kind of share a truck with to get our gear there and back up and down the West Coast. And I would say that a lot of these dealers are like some of my best friends. So we get out to the guitar shows and we take some stuff to sell. We try to pick up as much cool stuff as we can, and you never know what's going to walk in. But this last one was kind of a unique experience. I landed Wednesday night, and I got a call when I got there about a couple guitars in Springfield, Illinois, that were like, yeah, I have to have these, right?
You said that earlier, and I didn't pry, but what are they? Do we get to know?
Okay, I'll get there, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
All right.
So I was like, logistically, how's this going to work? And it was just Frank, my business partner, and I running the show. We didn't bring anybody with us this time, so I was like, hey, dude, I've got to bail on you Friday, right? And I told him why, and he was like, yes, you have to bail on me Friday,
Yep.
So I get it all lined up. I do the guitar show all day Thursday, and buy a couple things, have some fun. I catch an early morning flight Friday to St. Louis, and my friend Granville at Magnatone. I was like, I don't want to do this deal in the hotel lobby, and so I just hung out at Magnatone all day.
Nice.
With Granville. And then the folks came. It was 2 different people with 2 different guitars. Longer story than worth getting into, but they both drove out to Magnatone from Springfield. One of them was a 1963 Jaguar, ash body, blonde finish, and the kicker was factory gold hardware, which you never see.
No, what? I didn't even know they did that back then.
Yeah, and the big tell.
That's
so they have plated stuff, and the big tell, like, okay, is this real? Is this legit? Is they painted the truss rod. If you look at the heel, they painted the truss rod gold on original gold hardware guitars.
Really?
So that's like the big indicator, right?
I did not know that Jags came with gold. I've seen other guitars. That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you hear the Mary Kay Strat, right?
Yep, exactly.
And a few others, but there were some offsets, and it was an upcharge. So at the time, this was the most expensive guitar you could buy from Fender. Like,
nice.
The most expensive model, the Jaguar, custom color upgrade, ash body, and gold hardware. It was literally the most expensive guitar in the Fender catalog in 1963. And so I was getting it from the original owner who special ordered it. And normally you go buy guitars like this and you're spending this much money. You take them apart and make sure it is what it is. This is the first time where something's come in and I looked at it and I just said, this guitar's never been apart and I'm not going to be the first one to do it. I'm not going to pop the neck for dates. I'm not going to look at any of it. Like, this is, I know exactly what this is.
This is legit. Yep.
And so I just, wrote the check. Like, yes, please. And then the other deal, the kind of crown jewel, was a first year 1958 Jazzmaster. 1-piece ash body, blonde finish, and gold anodized pickguard. Similarly, and maybe it was silly of me to do it, but I was just like, I don't think this guitar's ever been apart. So why am I going to be the first one to do it? And I just wrote the check. And yeah, it was nuts.
That's crazy.
Those
are some
fines.
like that. You did need to bail on Frank, unfortunately.
I did. But then I took a quick nap at the hotel. I bought 2 seats for these guitars.
Of course.
And I flew back at 5 a.m. the next morning. So I was in St. Louis all day Friday, hit the ground and took an Uber straight to the venue, brought these guitars in, and started going, another 13-hour day of guitars. And I sold the Jaguar to a good friend of mine, like, instantly. And everybody wanted the Jazzmaster. But I think Frank's going to end up with it. You know, he's sweating pretty hard for it, and we'll work something out.
Yeah. I figure there's an arrangement to be had.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that was the big crazy experience. And all these guitar shows are always fun. They can be stressful, but they're fun, right?
I was just thinking, if this guitar is so good that it's making Frank, who deals in vintage instruments, want it really, really bad, that's a pretty amazing find.
It is. And especially the first few years, you know, we were really judicious about what we decided to keep. That's loosened up a bit now, you know, like, there's something I gotta have it. But if there was one in my mind, if there was one Jazzmaster, cooler than any of the other custom colors, cooler than anything, it would be a first year blonde ash body gold guard Jazzmaster. That's like the one. And I think that you know, Frank's been doing this a lot longer than I have, and he said he's never had one walk in or never had the opportunity to buy one, but he always told himself if he could, he'd jump on it. So he might have to give me something out of his personal collection to make it work, but I won't squeeze him too hard.
I imagine he's got some pretty good gems in there.
He does, and that's another fun part of it for people that are nuts about vintage guitars. It's like, I get to go buy guitars as part of my job, and then I get to keep some of them. Like there's one right behind me there, the 1930 Kel Croydon. I'm sure you've seen Jeff Tweedy play some of those before, and I've just always had an affinity for these. And our friend Matt Kohler from Gibson had this one in his collection, and he knew that I loved him, and he called me up, and I was just, yeah, absolutely, please. Like, where do I send the money, you know?
Yeah, you got those Paul Bigsby pedal steel and mandolins in there, or mandolin. Yeah, I was blown away. Somebody was, I think when I posted it, somebody was like, play it. I'm like, first of all, you don't want to hear me play a mandolin. But second of all, I can't even believe I'm looking at it right now. This is crazy.
One of 7 ever made, right? And Paul Bigsby, I mean, that's the rarest of the rare to me. And all of the guitars that we love from Fender, and I mean, he was friends with Les Paul too. There's so much influence of Paul Bigsby in all of the guitars that we love. It's like, that's the model, right?
Well, it's funny because like my wife, just by osmosis, you know, she loves music, but she's not a musician. And so she has absorbed a lot of my guitar nerdery over the years, where I was talking about that mandolin. She's like, Bigsby. She's like, oh, like the thing that's on some of the guitars you like. I'm like, yeah, yes, it is like that, you know, but this guy is more important than people realize. And then I go onto some semi-autistic tangent, and she's like, all right, okay, yeah, that's enough. It's more information than I needed to know.
Yeah. Man. But yeah, it's all fun, and it's fun to collect stuff. I try not to hoard things. I want to keep things that I play. But that means I have to learn how to play the mandolin and the pedal steel, which I'm working on, but I still wouldn't go take the show on the road quite yet.
I understand. Yeah. Is it hard sometimes? Because I am a guitar hoarder, but I've gotten rid of exactly 2 guitars in my whole life. But I as many as I have, I think people would maybe think that I'm just buying guitars all the time. I'm a little slower to acquire these days than I used to be.
Sure.
I just don't get rid of anything.
Yeah.
So, but I can only imagine if I was doing what you do, it would, because I have such a hard time getting rid of stuff, I'd probably be a terrible guitar salesman. Because even walking into Thunder Road, I'm like, I want that, I want that, I want that, I want that. Like, is it hard to let go, or is it just normal these days?
It depends. Yes, I want to keep everything that I can, but also, like, that's what pays for groceries. That's what pays for the building. That's what pays my payroll. Like,
it's a little antithetical to the concept of a store to hoard everything.
That said, I keep some fun, cool stuff. And part of the fun is owning it for a period, having it for a bit. There's a lot of stuff. Honestly, there's probably a couple guitars that I am like, those are forever. I play them all the time. I never want to let go of any of them.
Let's talk about those a little bit. What are they?
I mean, that's one.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then I have another one of those that's the KK1, which is no painting. It doesn't have the birds on it at home, that I got from my buddy Mason Stoops. That's like, that's my number one. That's my favorite guitar. I was even going to let go of a couple things. I have a 59 single cut Junior, which like shouldn't really exist, right? They went to double cut the year before.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
And I was like, I haven't played this in a little while. I could sell it. And I pulled it out of the case and I played it. And I was just like, absolutely not. No. Like, this thing's awesome. This is why I remember why I bought it. And then not just the vintage stuff, but like, I've gotten to meet so many cool people and builders and be lucky enough to call them friends. And TK Smith is at the top of that list as far as people that I'm, honored to get to call a friend.
Makes such cool stuff.
It really does. And I own 6 of his instruments personally. So there's plenty. It's a good mix of new and vintage as far as things that I keep and love. Gotta have a Collings at some point, which I do, but I feel like I want another one. So yeah. Now the stuff that I can order more of, it's a little easier to sell, right?
Yeah.
But the one of a kind pieces that I pick up every day and that I love, or have some sort of sentimental attachment to. Like, I'm sure as the years go on, I'll be like, oh, I played that guitar to my daughter when she was born, so I can never get rid of it, right? And that's fine. Like, that's totally cool. So there are a couple that I've regretted selling, but I know where they are.
That's helpful.
And I think I can get them back at some point for a premium. But I always tell people that come in that, it's a great sales pitch, but it's true. I'm like, oh, I don't know about buying a guitar. I might regret it. And I just stop them in their tracks. I say, I and everyone I know have never regretted buying a guitar. We have all regretted selling or not buying and missing.
Yes.
Those are the regrets, right? So there's a couple, but like all of the cool electrics that I'm like, oh, I should keep this. Joe Bonamassa ends up buying. He it's just the way that it is. But I've talked to him a couple times and like, hey, if that one were to ever get sold, would you give me a call? Like, I'd love to have it back, but I don't need it.
It's fine where it is,
like,
but
him and Charlie are always so cool about. They're just like, yeah, dude, you got the first right of refusal, no problem. And again, there's another part of the business, like all the customers that we have, like just a bunch of cool guys. The local guys, the guys from afar, and first starting out or seasoned rock star. It's like we've got the best of the best in the guitar world as far as just humans in general, right?
That's what I love about the business in general. Obviously, there's caveats. There's a handful of interesting folks around, but 99% of the people are all here for the same reason. We're here because we love this stuff, and that's and we got a bunch of people that are all just there because they love it. It creates a very positive atmosphere, and it makes it all just that much better. And I think that is also part of the turning of the tide of, like, I just don't see, I like I said, I just did a trip where I went to like 9 different stores, and I didn't walk into any of them and get that old crusty, what are you doing here vibe, not from any of them at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a cool place to be.
It is. It really is.
So we've reached about the end of the main episode. I've got 2 classic questions that I like to wrap these up with. But before I do, I like to give the guests the chance to take the stage. You're talking to a few thousand people right now. You can plug anything you want to plug, shout out anybody you want to shout out, say hi to your great aunt, whatever you want to do. The floor is yours.
No, I don't have anything to pump. I just, if you have an opportunity to come into either one of our stores, come on in. It's going to be a good time. But that's an easy one. But if I could just say thank you to like the people that helped make me who I am in this industry, right? So like the folks at Lollar, that was my stepping stone. Frank Gross gave me the opportunity of a lifetime. Chris Benson, a good friend that helped me land on my feet down here. My staff, they're incredible, and they make all of it possible. I could say hi, Mom, but I'm going to call her later, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But again, I think that my big message to the world is just how grateful I am that people want to buy guitars from me and people want to sell guitars to me, and that I get to make friends doing that day in, day out. And just to everybody listening, thank you. Yeah, even if you've never bought anything, if you've just ever looked at our website once, like, thank you. That's awesome.
Just go, if you've never bought anything, well, do that. But also just go watch their content. It's also it is premium guitar store content. If nobody has seen the Thunder Road videos, well, you got to fix that, because they are probably the most fun videos that any store is currently producing. I think I can firmly say that.
Thank you, man. And that's just another one of the things, like, how many demo videos can you go find? Like, this is what this sounds like. It's like, no, man. Like, this is who we are. We're just guys trying to have fun.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the classic questions. All right, first one. What is your favorite Boss pedal?
Ooh. My favorite, or the one that I'm the most excited about that's in our cabinet right now?
Both.
Okay. DS1 for the one that I'm excited about. One of the early Japanese long dash, silver screw, Kurt Cobain, right?
Yeah.
That's a fun one.
You had to tell me about that. Why, you just wanted me to drive up and buy it, didn't you? That's why you told me about that. I understand.
I mean, I've got a TS808 here too. If I can dangle the carrot.
that one does less for me. I'll admit
sure.
it. I'm a big Boss nerd.
And then my favorite pedal, just because it's fun, is the HM2.
Okay, yeah, it is fun.
You can't plug that in and play a guitar and not smile. Like,
of course,
it's just fun. So yeah, those are my two.
Do you like it in chainsaw mode, or do you?
That's the only mode.
That's the only mode.
That's the only mode. We've been talking to I want that circuit remade in a different platform.
Oh, I see. I mean, we know enough people. This could happen. Probably relatively easy.
It probably should.
In fact, there's a guy I just talked to who's a local builder, a little bit newer, not that new in retrospect. He'd been doing stuff longer than I realized. But this Heavy Earth, I just interviewed him. Probably the episode that just dropped before this in the feed. He's got an HM2 that you should probably check out. I mean, he's got everything you should check out, but he's got an HM2 you would probably want to experience. It's pretty
connect me.
Awesome. Yeah, will do. Shay's a good guy. He lives really close. He's in our neighborhood. So
awesome.
Yeah. All right, final question, and I love talking to local people about this one. What is your favorite kind of pizza?
Ooh. I've been on a health kick, so I haven't been eating a lot of pizza. My recent favorite. There's two. Mm-hmm. Now, are you asking places or type of pizza?
All of it. As nerdy as you want to get.
If I could only have one more type of pizza ever, it's going to be deep dish. Like, anything on focaccia, like, that's... I wouldn't want to live another day if I could never have that again in my life.
I understand. Yes.
But then your classic New York style pizza is up there. It's a close second for me. And so the two places that have really been... And I know there's plenty of others... I think you brought us Demo's one day.
Oh, Demo's is one of my favorites in the area.
Great.
Yeah.
Ranch, though, has been...
Ranch is... I have to be in the mood for ranch,
Yes.
but when I am in the mood for ranch, nothing else will do. And I need to clarify, because I am not a ranch on pizza guy. Ranch is the name of a pizza restaurant that makes a Detroit-style thick slice, and it is incredible.
It is. Mm-hmm. And now they do supply you with ranch with every pizza, but you're not required to use it.
That is better than... I will say, I had to try it, and even though I'm still not a ranch on pizza guy, I see what they're going for.
Yeah.
It makes sense. And if you are a ranch on pizza person, you're going to absolutely love it.
Yeah. It's fire.
Yeah.
Scotty's.
Love Scotty's.
Yeah. So
Scotty, he's been on the podcast.
Has he?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I got to go back and watch that one.
Yeah, he's a music nerd. Like, yeah, and his pizza is so good.
It is.
Oh, so delicious.
We did garage sale day last week, and a couple of the guys agreed to stay late, and I ordered them Scotty's to the shop so that they could chow down while they're moving stuff around for the sale.
I'm gonna have to bring you guys some more pizza. So
come on down.
Overdue.
I've got a really cool video that you and I recorded that I need to put out when you came in for the day.
I'm ready.
It's ready. I'll send you the copy of it before we post it, and we can time it all out.
Sounds good. I can't wait to see it. I know what I did, but I haven't seen the final product yet, so I'm excited. We were being creeps.
Yeah. It's a good time. Good time.
Yes. Well, Will, thank you so much for hanging out. We'll slide over to Patreon and see what kind of nonsense we can get into over there if that works for you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. And thanks for listening to anybody that's listening.
Yeah. All right, everybody, for Will, this is Blake, and as always, folks, good luck and good tones.
Alrighty, folks, there you have it. There's another episode in the can. Please check out all things Thunder Road Guitars on the interwebs at the link wherever the words are. And thank you, Will, for hanging out with me for the extra bonus Patreon conversation. Oh yeah, you didn't think we were going to leave you hanging, did you? No. For $5 a month, you can get access to the ad-free feed and more conversations like the one I had with Will. And yeah, we get pretty weird with it. So if you go to patreon.com/tonemob, you can sign up there. And if that's not in the cards for you, no worries. I get it. I know how it be. But please, please, please share this with a friend. Share this with somebody you think might get something out of it. Any episode ever that you think is valuable, please share this with somebody that you think would love it. And it would mean the world to me. It truly, truly makes a difference in my life. You doing that helps keep the lights on around here and helps keep my family fed. I truly appreciate it. This is not some huge, big, giant corporate podcast. This is little old me, just like it has always been. And I appreciate each and every one of you taking the time out of your day to hang out with me. All right, everybody, let me get out of your hair so you can get on with your day. I appreciate you very much. I'll talk to you on the internet very soon. Bye-bye.
One last thing before we totally sign off here. I just want to remind you that if you do any shopping at Stringjoy, that's Stringjoy guitar strings made in Nashville, that will help me out as well. As I've said for years, I'm heavily involved in that company, and I really do think they're making the best products on the market. So if you would like to try custom strings, go to tonemob.com/stringjoy and check them out today. I seriously love what the team down there is doing. I help them out with all kinds of things, and by you supporting them, you are also supporting me as well. And hey, you need some strings, so why not get some custom strings just for your guitar and playing style? Again, the link for that is tonemob.com/stringjoy, and that will take you right to their website, and you can do all your shopping through there, and that will help everyone involved out. So thank you very much. Talk to you next time. We are brought to you by the wonderful folks at Gun Street Wiring Shop. Yes, Gun Street Wiring Shop. I've talked about them before. I used to say based out of Bend, Oregon, but guess what? Sean moved to my neck of the woods. Sean's in Portland. Sean is awesome and has helped me with a bunch of stuff lately. And if you have wiring needs for your guitar, he can help you too. If you want to get weird with it, he can get weird. If you just need to spruce things up a little bit, there's your guy. He takes all the guesswork out of doing your guitar wiring, and he makes it simple, and his customer service is top-notch, and I can't say enough good things about Gun Street as a company. I really respect Sean and what he's all about, and the product is top-notch. I've got 3 different guitars that now have Gun Street harnesses in them, and I could not be happier. So go to gunstreetwiringshop.com and check them out.